Hello, guys. I'm Camille. I'm from Brazil, and we are here to practice your listening abilities in English. Shall we? Today, I would like to talk to you guys about something that everybody avoids to the best of their abilities, including myself, which is drumroll our fears. There's something mystical about being afraid of the unknown, and most times our feelings become way stronger than reality, and therefore we get stuck. Not in the place that we would like to, we usually get stuck in a dark place of doubt. Insecurities, jealousy, and envy might even add to the poisonous mix you've just created in your mind. It's nobody's fault. It's just you rambling over what you already know. The more you listen to your mind, the less you move. And the less you move, the more disconnected you are from yourself. I have to say something a little bit gross that helped me a lot to overcome my bad thoughts and fears, which goes in the lines of this. When we think about the same bad thing for more than once, it's just like tasting your own vomit. That sounds terrible, right? I'm sorry for what you just pictured, but that's exactly the truth. Is it tasty? No. Was it necessary? No. Would you do it again? Definitely not. So, my question is, why do we keep saying the same things over and over in our minds as if they didn't affect us? And in reality, this is the worst thing that we could do to ourselves. We repeatedly put ourselves down for no reason at all. But to change our current circumstances, we need to reflect on them. So, the more you avoid talking and vocalizing about your fears, the less understanding you will have and the longer things will take to change. This is a reminder that I constantly bring to my students when the discussion about discipline, motivation, or inspiration arises, because we tend to avoid what makes us uncomfortable, which of course goes back to our fears. But what if I told you that your most challenging roadblock is what's actually hiding the goals you're aiming to? I got to this conclusion because of a project that I got myself involved with. I was procrastinating, doing other things, being lazy to do the hard things, simply because I knew I had a lot to do. And I got overwhelmed by the massive number of recordings I would have to face. And when I realized that I was afraid of the idea of what I would have to face in the future, and that this anxiety was making me crazy and frustrated because things just wouldn't evolve, I decided to develop a daily system to take care of it. So I was able to do with it with small steps. So now, every day from Monday to Friday, I must do something about this project, okay? I must do something about it. Or I'm gonna be writing scripts or reviewing a lesson, organizing files, reviewing the edited material. It doesn't matter. Every day I have to do something about it. And this is how I'm building confidence and working on my project without making room for bad thoughts or laziness. Everything at the same time. It is possible. And you are able to do the same too. Small steps are greater than we think. We might just have to give them a little chance. Sometimes it's all that they need, and it's all we need as well. And let me be honest with you, the balance between being afraid and doing what's right, that will actually build enough confidence for you to become more of who you are. It's not magic, it's action. And facing your fears is totally related to that. I'm sorry if you weren't expecting for it, but I have to tell you the truth. And it was facing a big challenge for me that I could see my life a little bit clearer. I decided to start recording my course from scratch all over again, which means for the second time at the beginning of 2024. But things didn't happen as I was expecting. I had some issues with the material, with the editing process. So it took me some time, to be more specific, it took me 6 months to find a person to help me out. And after all of this time, I tried to start the recordings a bunch of times, but I had some big things happening. I went to Brazil a couple of times. I got to see my students because, as an English teacher, content creator, and entrepreneur, there are many responsibilities over my shoulders. And many times I had to invest my time in things that I could outsource, but I had to learn to let it go. I had to get rid of the idea of nobody's going to do it as well as me. So, And that was when I hired two very important people to work in my team. And it was the best thing I could do, honestly. It was at the end of 2024. And then 2025 arrives, and I even moved to a new apartment. It was hard to get things in place because my husband travels a lot, and he traveled a lot in the first semester. I had many launches, we traveled. I also went to Brazil. I saw my students again, and now we're finally back home. And doing this recap and trying to understand why I didn't face this challenge as I would like to, I realized that every time that I had the chance of recording a class, I didn't because I made small, bad decisions. Sometimes I chose to do something that wasn't my priority over what I actually needed to do. Why? Because nobody was watching. Nobody could see what I was choosing to do. And after all, I believe that all of us get caught in situations like these from time to time. There's always a duality happening in our minds. We think that someday it will stop, someday we'll find balance, but in reality, no, it will never stop being like that. We actually find the peace we're looking for when we make the right decision over and over, when we choose what's right, not what we want. And this shift in my mentality was a real game changer. Nobody told me, nobody challenged me. And because of it, I'll be able to face my fear of dealing with hardship to complete this challenge by the end of the year. And I cannot wait, ladies and gentlemen. Oh my goodness. I'm looking forward to it. But I'm sharing all of this just to say that you should look in the mirror. You too have a challenging situation to deal with. Maybe your project is your fluency in English that you've been keeping away from you for so long. Now it's time to go after it because the smallest and the tiniest decisions are what really matters. And they are the ones who will build the future we so deeply dream and desire. So don't get things twisted or out of proportion, my dear. Maybe you're adding more pressure to the English fluency journey than you should. Think about your day to day. What is paramount for you to achieve your goal and fight a little battle every day? Tackle the small challenges so you can build and prepare yourself for the next bigger ones. And that's what I call the minimum execution. Every day I tackle something about the project, and you can do the same. Otherwise, when you realize 2 weeks, 3 months, years will have passed by, and you will be at the same place. I don't want you to feel that way. What do you want? What do you want? It's time for us to develop a sense of self worthiness and self responsibility. We might be very open and ready for appointments with other people. However, when it comes to us and we have an appointment with ourselves, we forget about them very easily, as if they didn't even exist or as if they weren't important at all, while in reality, they are the key to our future selves. And of course, we're not like that in every single area of our lives. It's usually where it hurts the most, where we desire what we want the most, where it's more challenging, with what gives us a lot of sense of discomfort and a bitter taste in our mouth just to think of it. Have you heard of the Achilles tendon? That's right. That's what you have to protect and fight for at all costs. Otherwise, you're going to get stressed and frustrated for no reason. That's not how we were supposed to feel. But of course, there is no way to get around with it. We are the ones responsible for them in first place. So, are you willing to face small bits of your fears daily to conquer the best version of yourself? I hope you are. And before you go, if you speak Portuguese, I would like to recommend a reading for you guys. I've been reading a book called A Vida que Vale a Pena Ser Vivida, which translates to The Life Worth Living by Clovis de Barros and Arthur Miucci. I'm in the fourth chapter, and I can tell it's one of the best books I've read in my entire life. It's an introduction to philosophy blended with personal stories and great talks between the reader and the writer. I hope this quick reflection has helped you somehow. And what's the next subject you would like me to discuss here in the next chapter? Or should I say episode? Let me know in the comments. It was a pleasure to talk to you guys. I hope to see you very soon. Bye. Take care.